Talanoa Hufanga, getting injured earlier this year, we at first started Jair Brown, then we picked up a guy. His name is Logan Ryan. He used to play for the Bucks, veteran guy. Started him last game, and I mean, there were like 7 or 8 assignments that he missed. You go down to the last, I covered this on my channel live a few days ago. Logan Ryan, the last touchdown that the Packers scored, he missed 2 assignments back to back. One was the over the middle. I think it was the 15-yard crosser to Romeo Doubs that almost went to a touchdown, and he didn't pick up Romeo Doubs, and then it could have been a pick, but Romeo Doubs, he caught it. I think it was down to the Niners 4-yard line, and Logan Ryan, it could have been a pick, but he didn't get to the ball early enough because he didn't realize that they were going to him. And then the very next play, they go to their tight end, Kraft, and he was one-on-one with Kraft, and Kraft just completely dusts him in the red zone. So he's a huge – Logan Ryan, if we start him again, he is going to be a huge part that you can exploit with a Sam Laporta, which he is playing in this game, correct?
Yes. Yeah, he is 3 weeks off the injury.
Yeah. So that's going to be a huge guy. Now, I don't know, because the reason why we started him is not necessarily because he was doing better, but he is a veteran, and Jair Brown is our third-round rookie out of Penn State. I would feel a lot safer with us if we started Jair Brown, who's a lot more of a playmaker, but even him, he's a rookie. And so that safety position is going to be a little bit easier to exploit than it was earlier in the year. And then another defensive kind of flaw with us is Ambry Thomas. And I'm sure you probably watched that Packers game. Number 20, Ambry Thomas. He's not a terrible, he doesn't get beat a ton, but he holds a lot. And the Packers went away from him, didn't target him as much later in that game. But I mean, I would be shocked if you guys do not target him relentlessly, because a lot of times you just throw it up on a seam route to your receiver and he doesn't turn his head around a lot. And he gets called for a hold a lot. And there were a lot of times in that game, in crucial times, that he got called for a hold. So Ambry Thomas, big weakness. And then offensively, I think if Deebo Samuel, he's 50-50 to play.
Yeah.
I think because he's 50-50 now, I do think he is going to play, but I think he's going to be on a snap count, just because I think his injury is kind of severe, because I feel like if his injury was a little bit less than, if his injury was minor, I feel like he would have come back in that game, and he didn't. So that means it was a little bit more major. I don't know if you agree with me on that one.
You know what? I didn't even think about that, man, because at this point you're playing like you win or go home. So you would thought that if he wanted, he was going to come back in. So maybe it's one of them things where Laporta was out and he was done for the game and then was able to play the next week. So, but he wasn't 100%, but he was enough to catch a touchdown. So
so maybe it was that. The thing with him, though, if he is on a snap count, a big part of why our offense is so good with him is because before the snap, he is our main threat before the snap. You don't know what he's going to do. The linebackers are always distracted by him, and then we go to McCaffrey or one of our other weapons. If he is not playing that whole entire game, we lose a lot of our threat before the snap. The pre-snap motion becomes a lot less, and our offense becomes a lot more one-dimensional. The other, this is long-winded, but the one other point that I have is, like I said, Aiden Hutchinson versus Colton McKivitz. Every Niners fan knows it. I don't know how we're going to game plan around him. I think we're going to do a lot of shotgun, not as much play action, which is going to make our offense a lot more one-dimensional as well. And so that's kind of the weaknesses. I can't think of any more, but that's 3 or 4 that you guys could easily exploit. So.
Well, what I'm a bit curious about is the 2 number 97s, right? We got Hutch, we got Bosa, and Penei Sewell's first game was against Nick Bosa, and he did pretty well. I remember Nick giving him a compliment, was like, this guy's going to be good. And it was his very first NFL game was against Nick Bosa. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. Can Jared Goff, I'm a bit curious to know what I think it's going to be where, Ben, it's a lot of quick passes from Detroit. I think it's going to be Goff is going to real quick to St. Brown. if he's gone, Laporta. But my question to you is, if we get Jamison Williams going, how's your safety and secondary? Because if can somebody cover J-Mo deep if we were to go deep to him?
Okay. Well, if St. Brown was in the slot, I'm assuming it would probably be Ward who's on him, and he's pretty good. But the thing with Ward is, like, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but Jamison Williams is a little bit more of a speed receiver, correct?
Yeah.
Which is a problem, because Ward, the best receivers that he does good on are AJ Brown and DK Metcalf, more of the bigger physical receivers.
Yeah.
Speed, I feel like we're gonna have to do a lot of zone, and that's, I feel like, a problem. I think it's going to be a big day for Jared Goff if you can keep him protected. Now, my question to you is, so Ragnow is